AMD made a mountain bike a few years ago, and after our review, it vanished, and we can't imagine why.
It's eating the chain.
Is that the rear shock came loose?
AMD took that bike away, which was the right thing to do, and the man who helped us kill that dangerously bad product is this guy.
This performs no better, and in some cases even worse.
This is Matt, and today he's getting a computer as a surprise. Matt says he doesn't know anything about computers yet, but he recently told me that he really wants to try sim racing. So I built him a sim racing gaming PC, and he thinks he's coming over to visit our studio to learn about computers. That was a lie, but probably he'll get over that one once he sees this. As for Matt, he really deserves this. Matt owns a local bike shop. It's the Cycle Surgeon, where I go all the time. He's the friendliest, most skilled mechanic in the area I know of, and he always goes way above and beyond to help his customers. Matt has insanely high quality standards, and he's been working non-stop hours to help get people back on their bikes, even though some of them are unsavable. I've been trying to make Matt charge me more for repairs for years now, but he never accepts tips for his work, and he won't charge me more. So I knew this would be the perfect opportunity to return the favor and get him something finally in return for all of his hard work. I told him we'd show him a few different computers, explain how they work, answer some basic questions, and then he'd be on his way to build his own or buy a pre-built. Well, we wouldn't do that to him, obviously, but he doesn't know that yet. Before that, this video is brought to you by the Thermaltake Tower 100. Thermaltake's Tower 100 is a mini ITX case to serve as a showcase system for your components. The Tower 100 has received many revisions since we first saw it, and the case now has an open vent in the bottom for intake, a mesh cutout in the side panel for some GPU ventilation, and additional mesh along the side skirts and the side panels of the case. The Tower 100 is mostly focused on building a showpiece PC that's small enough to fit on most tables. Learn more at the link in the description below. Okay, so Matt just messaged me, and he's gonna be by tomorrow. I wasn't expecting him to come by, but he said he's closing the shop early, and this is gonna be the best opportunity for us to put a build together for him. Really last minute, but we have enough stuff to do a good job for him anyway. So I'm gonna pull things that we have here, put together a killer build for Matt, and he deserves it. He's been working really hard this year. I told him, hey, while you're here, would you mind shooting an AMD bike revisit with us? Because he did that piece with us previously, and do sort of a post-mortem 1 year later. And he said, yeah, sure, I'd love to do it. And so he thinks he's gonna be shooting that. So it gives us a cover for why we're gonna have a camera out. And my plan is while we're doing the audio check or something, I'll start talking to him about the computer that we're gonna build here tonight. And then we'll say, this is yours. So we're gonna look around for parts. I have a few ideas for ones I definitely wanna use, and then genuinely a lot of it I'm gonna be figuring out on the fly. This is one of my bikes that Matt works on for me. He's done a phenomenal job keeping it in good shape. So it was hanging out in here anyway. I don't know, sometimes they just kind of go where they wanna go. Motherboards, I'm thinking probably, I just checked inventory and I saw we have several 10900 SKUs. It's not the absolute newest CPU, but it's killer CPU. Really good for gaming, which is what he wants to do. It was the CPU we recommended instead of Intel's 11th generation before 12th gen came out. So the 10900KF is probably what I'm gonna get for Matt for his build. Probably pull a Z590 Strix that we have, which is elsewhere. So we'll come back for that. For the case, I just wanted to use a Torrent, which we had pulled this for one of our own production builds we want to do, but we have two Torrents, and we'll use the other Torrent for our build, and we'll use this brand new one in box for Matt. Matt really likes function, and the overall read I get of what he would like is function focused and maybe not as much looks, and to that extent I think a Torrent makes a lot of sense. So for video card, I'm on the NVIDIA side right now because I know some of the games he's interested in have RTX support specifically, and I think he might enjoy that. So this is a lot of 30 series stuff. I might choose a different card later. Like I was thinking of pulling one out of one of the pre-builds we've done, which would be probably a 3070 Ti, maybe 3070 or 3080. I'm not gonna go lower than a 3070 for his build. So we'll pull from one of these. I think these are all actually 10 series. The 1080 Ti is still my favorite card of all time that I've tested. Then down there it's 500, 700. So we're gonna end up pulling from this top shelf. Cooler is gonna be interesting to choose. I'm not this will be fun anyway for everyone in the audience to see some of the stuff we've been thinking about playing with. That's an FX100, it's old, but it's a fanless one. We have a whole shelf full of ID cooling coolers. They shipped a lot of the new ones as they were coming out. I did actually end up using, I think, one of these in a mini ITX build recently, and I did like it, but we haven't reviewed it. The Freezer 50, I don't like. This cooler needs Dremel work. This would be like the cooler to give Matt if I want to give him a project to work on. Just one thing, before you turn it on, get the Dremel out. Arctic's made a lot of good stuff. Here you go. This is a good shelf of options. So Be Quiet I'm liking because a lot of their stuff's blackout. The Torrent is a pretty blacked out or dark in general case. This one's more recent, and it's got Mike's paint pen marks on it. So just because I'm not 100% sure, we probably still need to film it for the review. I'm gonna use this one, which is basically the same thing with different fans. And if we do want to put different fans on it, once I turn it on, test the computer, see how it is, if it seems like it could use or benefit from the other fans, I will pull some Be Quiet fans off of the fan shelf and turn that into this, and then we'll be done. So we have an excellent case that we gave best overall for the year. We have a cooler that I know is good and looks great, so that's a plus too. I do feel like the looks of the computer are maybe more exciting for people who haven't had a fully custom computer before. So whenever I build a system for someone who's maybe not used to having anything other than just like a Dell or HP box, I do like to put a little more effort into the looks of a specific theme. So blackout will be really cool for this. This is the RGB model of the case. I guess I'll connect them and then I'll ask him if he wants it or not. I'm looking for a 10900KF, which should probably be in this tray. So, first one I pulled. It's a sign that it needs to get out of my office. Okay, so we have all the important parts. Power supply. Power supply I'm not sure about. This is a good power supply. We tested this one and it didn't explode, so that's pretty cool. We could pull one out of the power supply mystery bin. But part of choosing air cooling for this, I am trying to make this build something that Matt is obviously really mechanically inclined and good mechanically with just about everything I've seen him work on. And air cooling is cool because it's all physical hardware. There's no weird electrical stuff going on underneath the hood like you get with some of the high-end, all the LED and LCD liquid coolers. There's no water involved. There's no maintenance of the fluid involved, which he could handle, but it's kind of extra work for someone who's as busy as he is. So I like the simplicity of air and the power of air versus going for something that's going to take more long-term maintenance. So this should be a good build for him. GPU I'm probably going to swap, but that'll get us at least booted, and then we'll go from there. I just got to grab a motherboard and that's it. So simple enough. I'm just going to assemble it now. I guess we'll film parts of that, and then in the shot when Matt's here, he'll look at the AMD bike. I should get that out too. So this will be a fun one. He'll probably be like, "What? Oh, that's awesome! Really? Thanks." Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, this AMD bike, they did officially kill it, I told you.
Yes.
After that video. I guess while Andrew does like audio check, and yeah, we haven't shot here with people yet, so while he does that, I'll walk you through like basics of, for your computer, what you need to know, like, because you said sim racing, what did you say you were, iRacing? Is that what you're playing?
iRacing, Assetto Corsa.
Right.
So things like that.
So a set of Corsa, I know.
I do have some specs if you need some specs.
As long as you don't confuse storage with memory. Yeah.
So memory, I'm a total noob with all this stuff, so just to let you know. So memory is essentially, you're playing the game, it needs a certain amount of memory to go, okay, this is the next thing that's going to show up on your screen.
So, yeah, you pretty much got it.
Okay, cool.
So basically like,
they're
saying
saying
power
you want to make sure you have an appropriate power supply for the power you're drawing.
So this is the power supply. Typically they're mounted down here.
I was just going to say this one looks different than the ones I've seen.
Yeah. So this one mounts up top.
That actually kind of makes sense to me, to be honest with you.
That's funny because this is how they did it 20 or 30 years ago.
Really?
And they switched it, and now some companies are starting to go back to this. It does make sense for a lot of reasons.
It seems like this would get hot by itself.
Yeah.
Right? And you want to draw cool air from below, so why not maximum cool air from below?
Right.
Heat rises anyway, so let's just vent that out the top by itself. That's self-contained, so it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
So that's just now away from all of the important bits rather than radiating into the computer itself.
This I think it's like funny that you have someone who's kind of entering the space, and you see something that it's like, this is obvious. Like, well, they thought so too.
Right.
And then everyone did it, and they were like, let's figure out how to make it so that putting it down here is better.
Funny.
Not necessarily literally.
What was the thought behind it? Just packaging or something? Or
different.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, ours is different, therefore it's better.
Right.
But did you buy any parts yet?
I've not bought a thing.
Okay.
For me, I'm intimidated to do this, and although I think like the GPU, I think it's probably plug and play. Plug it in, just be careful, plug in the wires, you're good to go.
A lot of this you can handle because it's just mechanical stuff.
Yeah.
It looks electrical, but it's not. It's like electrical in the same way that replacing your car battery is electrical.
Sure, okay.
It's like, you put this one here and this one here.
It has to do with the electrical system, but it's not testing voltage and
it's not
getting
hard.
into the coding and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, the good news, I guess, I saved you a lot of time because I built this one for you.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. No doubt. That's awesome.
So that's your system.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Thank you so much.
How's your audio check going, Andrew? It's
wow.
like, Matt's going to be like, dang, this is a long audio check.
I thought we were wasting his time. I was like, no.
No. Yeah, I built that for you. You messaged like yesterday.
Really?
And I was like, I'd been wanting to build the system for you, but I was trying to sort of time it, figure out all the parts and stuff.
Sure.
And you messaged, and I was like, okay.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
We can black it out. Like I can so there's software where you can program the lights on the fan.
Sure.
Or you can turn them off.
Okay.
So if you do want it to be off, it's easy.
Okay.
Right now they're set to unicorn rainbow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like for me, if there was a choice of like, hey, do you want color or not? And the one without color is cheaper. Like, all right, cool, just no color. But these are actually pretty cool. I do like these. You see people's builds and things like, oh, that is kind of cool.
So that should get you set. So yeah. At this point, I will help you learn what a Steam is.
Yeah. My email, whatever that is.
Yeah. So I think your email was like, you're like, I think I need Steam, whatever that is. So,
exactly. That was very early in my research. I'm like, all right, Steam, cool. I have no idea what that is, but I'm learning a little bit now. I think it's basically a website you can go to, say, buy a game.
Yeah, it's just a retail platform.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just a big digital store.
Oh, man. It really is very intimidating.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It shouldn't be, because this, I'm experienced with it, but the actual hard part of the build, like getting it working, took me maybe 20 minutes.
Wow.
So it's not hard,
Yeah.
Like it's just Legos, but.
Funny, from my perspective, like maybe it's the same thing for you with me with a bike.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine, I build a bike, bleed a brake, whatever. That's no problem. In a heartbeat, I can get that done.
I mean, how long does it take you to replace a tire?
Oh, geez, a tire is 5-10 minutes tops.
Because last time I replaced a tire, it took me 50 minutes.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah. All of this is like I said, intimidating.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. I watched a couple of videos and oh, it's building is easy, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think everybody in the YouTube space probably tends to leave details out when they're doing the build.
Right.
Because it'd be like, same thing if I asked you, if I sent you a message like, hey, how do I bleed my brakes?
Exactly.
You know, and you send me like 2 steps, right?
But there's 12 in between.
Yeah, that you know, but I might,
exactly.
might not know. So
yeah.
It's the same with this, like, because I think a lot of people who are used to this would boil down all the connecting cables to, okay, step 4 is connect all the cables.
Right.
And you're like,
which one goes where? It's like the side of the box. Like even for this bike, the side of the box, all you need is a screwdriver.
Right.
Okay, well, no.
Yeah.
You need a lot more than a screwdriver to get that going.
Especially this one.
Right.
You need a different bike also.
Yes.
That's the part they left out of the instructions.
Step 1, remove bike from box. Step 2, put bike in trash. Step 3, go to bike store, buy bike.
Well, thanks for doing
absolutely.
the AMD bike video.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's so funny.
So that's Matt's gaming PC. In the time since we gave this to him, he sent us a photo of his newly set up sim racing rig. He's new to all of this and really has been getting into it. And it's awesome to see people find a new hobby, get interested in it, and understand why PC gaming and PC building is so cool. So as for extras, well, we'll have a video of the AMD mountain bike anyway on the GN Extras channel, where it'll be a 2-year post-mortem of just talking about what Matt thinks of the bike today. So check that out on GN Extras. It'll be up soon. You can subscribe to it at the link in the description below so you catch it when it goes up. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting us. You can go to store.gamersnexus.net or patreon.com/gamersnexus to help us out directly. We'll see you all next time.